Hey, what's up guys? Tim here. Got another tutorial for you today, and we have a bit of a viewer request today. So this person reached out to me through Facebook, and she said that her father has Parkinson's, and she was looking for a way to spread awareness for that, and she wanted to do use Paracord as a way to do that. And she sent me a picture of a Paracord awareness ribbon that looked just like this, but she wasn't exactly sure how to do it. So yeah, of course, I wanted to help out and do a tutorial so she could make these ribbons to hand them out and promote awareness. So as you can see, this is what I've kind of come up with and sort of what I just figured out through playing with the paracord and looking at some different pictures. So yeah, it's just the basic Solomon knot, and it's kind of just bent in around itself as the ribbon goes, and it's connected here at the back, and I'll show you how to do that in a bit. Alright, so yeah, that being said, let's get into the tutorial. Okay, so starting out, I've got my paracord here ready. I've got about 10 feet of pink, and I'm probably not going to need that much, but as always when doing these videos, I like to give myself a little extra just so I don't run out. So I've got it doubled over. This is the middle point of my 10 feet. And then now I'm going to take a ruler, and this is where you kind of have to figure out the kind of length you want, how big you want your awareness ribbon to be. I'm going to do about 10 inches. I think that's enough. Okay, so I'm going to measure 10 inches. Okay, so that's 10 from here to here. Right, you can make it larger or smaller if you wish. Okay, so now this is the doubled over end. This is where my 10 inches mark is. So I'm going to start here, and this is where we start our Solomon knots. Okay, so this is kind of similar to the Mad Max Cobra Stitch that we did, or Mad Max Solomon. Okay, so we're going to start off with a strand on the right. Okay, strand on the left over top of that, and then put the strand on the left through that other side, and then slowly start to tighten it a bit. Now you're gonna have to tie the second knot before you can fully tighten. Okay, so lead strand across, and then right strand behind and through to the other side. Okay, so now we're going to tighten that, and we want to pull all the excess through, so that's closed up nice and neat. So now I've tied 2 knots. Okay, as you can see, 1, 2. Now I'm going to tie 3 more, and then we're going to do something different. Okay, so here's 1, that, 2, and 3. So we're 5 knots in, and now we're going to switch it up just a little bit. Okay, so 5 knots in. Now I'm going to see these 2 core strands here. I'm going to take one of them, I'm going to split these 2, and I'm going to weave the next 4 knots on one single strand. Okay, and there's a reason for that, you'll see in a bit. Okay, so now I'm going to do 4 knots. So the way you do this is just kind of split these 2, and then now just do the 1. Okay, so I'm just weaving the Cobra Solomon knots over just one cord. That, okay. It's 1. I'm going to do this for 4 knots. 2. 3. Just kind of pull your core strands straight, and last one, 4. Alright, so see, now this is what we have. We have that kind of on the back there. Now we're going to bring it back together again. Okay, so now that I've woven my 4 knots on the singular strand, I'm going to merge these back together, and the next one I'm going to do the Solomon knot over both core strands again. Like that. There we go. So kind of pull out any excess. Let's do one more. Tighten it like that. Okay. So that's the kind of first portion. Pretty simple. To review, I did 5 knots in, and then I switched over to one strand only, and then I did 4 knots, and then I went back to both. So now I have this little kind of loop section here, and you want to make sure it's not too tight. So you want to maybe just stick your finger in there and kind of give yourself a bit of a space, because what we're going to do in a little bit is kind of attach the back end of the awareness ribbon and connect it to this strand, okay? So after rejoining the 2 core strands back together, you're just going to continue weaving your Solomon knots, continue going down your core, and just to give you a better idea of what we're doing, you see how we've got that strand there. So if I just kind of bend this over, you can see where I'm going with this. We're going to continue weaving your Solomon knots all the way here, and then when we get to this point, we can integrate this loop and connect it, okay? So I'm just going to continue tying my Solomon knots all the way down to my core, and I'm going to stop here, and I'll show you the next step. So as you can see, I've woven down most of my core, and the way you know you're ready for the next step is, so remember when I showed you earlier, I kind of demonstrated what it would look like. So if we look at the back here, we've got our little, extra loop here. We're going to take that and just stick it through here. And when you hold your ribbon like this, see how these 2 bottom ends of the ribbon are just about equal? That's when you know it's time to connect your, back part through the loop, okay? So yeah, this next step we'll do exactly as I just did. See, all I did was I took my weaving end, I fed it through here like that. And if you actually want it to have a tighter fit, you can actually just do 1 less stitch. I just want to give myself enough because I wasn't sure exactly how much. But next part is very easy. So as you can see, we have the loop through the other loop, right? Like that. And then we're just going to continue the Solomon knots after underneath this loop here, okay? So as you can see on this side, this is my lead strand here, and then I'm going to continue tying like that. Okay, this part's a little tricky, but you'll get it. Okay, so I'm going to pull that tight like this, and then we just continue weaving all the way down here, right? So I'm going to finish my Solomon knots. This part's a little hard to do, but and you're going to just keep going all the way to the very end here. Okay, so I'm just going to continue tying my Solomon knots. And as you can see, we're very close to finished, and we just finish up to here, and then we're done. And just one last tip, if your loop somehow ends up being too long, see here, see how these are pretty much even? You could just snip off the excess and snip it and melt it there, but if you can make it like I did here, to the point where your last knot is, just ends up finishing at the very end of the cord, you can just pull this really tight here. It's not going to come off because you're going to snip and singe the ends here. And see how much cleaner that is? We don't have the melted end at the bottom. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I'm just going to snip and singe my paracord ends here. I only ended up with about, let's say, 6 or 7 inches, or maybe about a foot extra. But if you make a larger ribbon, you'll need more cord. Okay, so I'm just going to snip and singe that, and we'll be done. Okay, there we have it, guys. I'm done. As you can see, I snipped and singed my paracord here. Both ends look really clean, and this can be, of course, made into a keychain. I just, attach one of those split rings up top here. I don't think I really need to show you guys how to do that. It's really relatively simple. Anyways, so yeah, this is it. This has been the Paracord Awareness Ribbon. Hope you guys enjoy this tutorial, and for the viewer that requested this, I hope this helps you out, and yeah, have fun. Alright, so thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, please do like, share, and subscribe. That would really help me out. and stick to the end to see any and all related videos. And I'll see you guys on the next tutorial. All right, bye.